Hi everyone, welcome back to the Spurs DANalyst. So this stream I'm doing on StreamYard, so I'm not too sure how it's going to go. Normally I was doing a recording just on my laptop and then uploading it that way, but StreamYard has given me some extra things to play around with. So yeah, let's see how this goes and how it comes across once I play it back. But anyway, episode today is called The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. So we're going to talk about the good of Spurs so far pre-season. We're going to talk about the bad, and also we're going to talk about the ugly. So yeah, quite a bit to talk about. So let's see how we get on. But before I move on to the good, let's just touch on today's match against what's they called now, the K-League All-Stars, where we saw our new signing play against us, Yang. So my thoughts on the game. I think that the heat really affected some of the players. It was very, very hot out there, and Ange did say that the conditions of the match would have impacted on the performance. What did I think of the game? The game, it was fun. It was really, really fun. I hoped before the game that we would be starting with as close to the first team lineup as we could have, due to the fact that there's not that many preseason games left. We need to start getting our team consistency, get game patterns, start to see a bit of rhythm. But he didn't do that. He played a mix of young and experienced players. Interesting, starting with Sarr, Bergvall and Gray in midfield. He started with Kulu up top, Son on the left and Johnson on the right, and centre back pairing of Royale and Davis, Porro right back and Donnelly left back, who's been playing a lot of that left back position most of pre-season. So yeah, so the game started, weren't the best of starts. As I said about the heat, maybe that was affecting their energy levels. There was a little drinks break and Manch had a bit of a go at them. He said, come on, go man to man. And then there was a bit of an uplifting performance after that, and we scored 3 goals before half time. So yeah, Kulusevski playing as the number 9 role, which we're seeing a bit of through pre-season now. Much more suited in that position, I think. And yeah, he took his goal well. Son cutting in with a shot, keeper saved it, and he managed to kind of lift it into the net. Not long after that, Son scored a cracking goal, one of his trademark finishes. And after that, we saw Kulu link up with Son in the box. And I think that's the third time Kulu's done that little link-up play now, getting people into the box, and Son nutmegged the defender and then finished well. So that was really a really good end to the first half. What did I think of some of the young guys' performances? Yeah, they looked tidy. Bergvall, Gray playing as number 6. Bergvall, yeah, looked tidy on the ball. Didn't do too much, but he was tight in possession. I thought Sarr, he was up and down, getting involved, lots of energy. I saw Porro getting a lot in the attacking third as well, really, really getting involved with attacking play, having the shots, getting the balls in the box. He looked very active there. Who else? And Donnelly was good as well, playing as the left back, good left foot, getting involved in the game. So yeah, it was a good first half. And then we saw Yang. There's 2 times in that first half where I saw him get involved with the play, where he turned Royale, ran past him, and then a little bit after that he was up against the fullback on the left, took a shot, weren't far away from scoring a goal against his team he's just signed for. So yeah, little glimpses there. But this team we're playing, they're just thrown together. They're not used to playing with one another. I don't think so. I know we played them a couple of years back and we beat them 6-3. But yeah, again, it was yeah, it was good. A lot of attacking play. Second half comes, he makes a few changes. I think a couple at first, and then he makes some more, and then he made some more. The game kind of came a little bit. It's just broken up. Too many changes, and we saw that the K-League side scored, and they scored a couple of goals in quick concessions. Poor defending from Spurs. Both goals coming from the right-hand side, so on Donnelly's side. But again, there was Davis, Royale missing the crosses coming into the box. And yeah, poor defending, and it was 3-2. Then we see Lancashire, if he came on, I think for Kulusevski maybe, and Werner came on for Son. Werner took on his man on the left, put a cross in, and Lancashire finished well. I think Lancashire had another chance after that as well. And then it was, I think at that stage, then it was 4-2. The game was a bit all over the place. Basuma came on. A few other players come on. I can't remember. There were so many changes. Game came really kind of, when you have so many changes in a game like that. I think the K-League side also made changes. It was just a little bit all over a bit end to end. Yeah, and too many changes kind of made the game. It was like a training exercise in the end. Pre-season, getting the fitness up. As I said about the level of opposition, not the best. They did have some good moves throughout the game. We started off with that makeshift defence, no fit centre backs. Radu came on quite late into the game, I think with 18 minutes to go. Didn't really see much of him. Yeah, I'm really losing the recordings here. It keeps on flashing. It's not great. So we'll see how that comes back when I watch it back. Yeah, so hard to gain much from it. I mean, it was great seeing the young players getting involved again. Moore came on, didn't score this time or assist, but Lancashire got his second goal in pre-season. Werner got an assist. Johnson, first half, had one chance, lifted it over the bar. It was a good ball from Bergvall, actually. Oh, I forgot to say, Bergvall hit the bar in the first half as well with a good shot. So close to scoring a goal for Spurs. So let's have a look at the stats of the game. Again, I just saw it as more of a kind of training exercise because there's so many changes, not seeing the kind of most of the first team playing, not getting a rhythm. What did Ange get out of it? What did we get out of it? Yeah, we saw the young players play. They played well. Some of the first team players gaining fitness, but the game was all over the place. And if I look at the stats at the end, so the K-League side had 18 shots, 8 on target, possession 49, so they had quite a lot of the ball. Passes exactly the same, 530. Passing accuracy 86. And then we look at Spurs' stats, 27 shots, 10 on target, 51% possession, same passes, 530, and passing accuracy 89. So yeah, quite a lot of chances we created. Poor finishing or just not clinical enough. A bit of a theme coming here throughout pre-season. We are creating stuff, but just not being clinical enough. I'll come on a bit more about that later. So anything else I want to talk about just to summarize the game? Yeah, I did enjoy it. It was all over the place, back and forth, but hard to kind of really gain a lot other than the fitness and just seeing some of the young players. And I think Ange is really taking a good look at these young players, thinking who he wants to get more involved in the squad when the start of the season. I mean, prior to the game, I was hoping that more started, but we saw Son on the left, Johnson on the right, and Kulu up front. So I'll talk a bit more about Kulu in my next section. So I'm going to move on to that now. The good. So, what have I thought about the good? So I need to be positive. I need to try and think about what has gone well in pre-season, because I think the last couple of videos I've done, a lot of it's focused on what's not going well, or what I'm worried about, what I'm concerned about. So I think it's fair that I need to talk about what's gone well and what I think's good about the team, have a bit of balance to the conversation about Spurs. So yeah, so let's go through the good. Obviously, the biggest thing about pre-season so far is the amount of youngsters who've had a chance this pre-season. A lot of youngsters. We're talking from Moore, Bergvall, Gray, Donnelly, Lancashire. We've seen a couple more. Tyrese Hall played a bit. Abbott's played. We saw Phillips, but not too much. But yeah, a lot of these young players have got a lot of game time. coming on at different periods of the game, starting games, finishing games. And I thought they've played really well. Again, the opposition, it's not the best, but they can only play against what they have, what they're up against. So, yeah, who can break through in the next season? Guys, which players do you think are going to break through to the Spurs side? Please comment. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, for me, I get a feeling that we're going to see a lot of Gray. After Ange's comments about Bergvall today, he said about the physicality, there's a lot to do with him. So it's going to take some time. Maybe we will not see him as much as we thought we might, but he did comment a lot about Gray and that he's doing really well. But he even said that, yeah, he's got a bit to work on too. So him, Bergvall, Gray, more I would like to see being more involved in the first team if that's coming off the bench. He definitely offers something much different than what we have. Take-ons, intelligence on the ball, his passing, his goal scoring, getting in good positions. He's so confident. I think he can offer us a lot this season, and I really do hope that he gets his chance and that he gets named on the bench. But we still have a lot of attacking players. I would have him over Solomon, definitely. And yeah, fingers crossed that he gets involved. So those three players, I would say, are the main players which I think Ange has seen enough of to kind of get more involved in the new season alongside the first team players. I think Lancashire as well is leading the race for the young strikers, Felice, Scarlett. I think Lancashire might get a chance, get him on the bench some matches, get him involved in the Europa League games, coming on the cup games if we're doing well and we're winning. Yeah, a lot of potential there. He's scored a couple of goals in pre-season. Gray's played so much in pre-season, more than most of them, I think. Bergvall as well has played a little bit. So yeah, so that's my opinion of the players, the young players, which I think we'll see. That's four there. But then also there's Donnelly as well. He's impressed, not even playing in his possession. Is there room for him? Can he come in? He's got a great left foot. He's playing that inverted fullback well. Defensively, not sure, but definitely going forward. Creative sense. He set up a goal. He got an assist in pre-season. So there's another one there. So will we see him, or will he be loaned out for the new year? There's a lot of players, a lot of young players there, and you know we've got to be honest here. I don't think we're going to see them all, but yeah, it'll be good to get them involved in the team and really see what they can do. Come off the bench, change a game. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So moving on to Kulusevski over pre-season. Now we've seen him move into the middle most games, or all of the games since pre-season starts. He's assisted. He's scored today. He's holding the ball up well. Again, I'm very cautious about this because we're playing a lower level opposition. It's pre-season, and I need to see it in the Premier League. Richarlison has been out. He's been out injured. So Kulu has had his chance. Son's made a comment as well, I think this week or the last couple of days, that his preferred position is on the wing still. So we're probably going to see him start on the left. Johnson has started a lot on the right, so it looks like we're going to be starting with him. And then we're looking at Kulusevski. Is Richarlison going to be back for the Bayern Munich game? We'll have to wait and see. There's only 2 more games before the season starts. We're looking at Bayern Munich on the weekend, and then going back home at Spurs Stadium. We got another game against Bayern Munich. Kane coming back for his, I don't know if it's a testimonial or something, but yeah, some deal was done last season when we sold him to Bayern Munich. So only a couple of games. Opposition level was going to jump up massively. So it's really going to see how we're getting on against Bayern Munich twice and see how we get on. The heat will affect the game on the weekend, but then we'll see the game back at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which will be kind of give us a better idea of who's going to be starting our first game away to Leicester the following week. So Kulusevski, really interesting experiment. A lot of people said last year, including myself, give him a role in that kind of number 10 position. But Ange has played him up front. He played him against Sheffield United up front at the last day of the season. He's doing bits. He's creating. He's holding the ball up. He's getting involved. I think we have to give him a chance. Again, and I'm trying to be positive here, so I'm going to stay on a positive note. We will come back to the strikers in other parts of the video. But Kulu, Richarlison, guys, please comment who you playing. Who would you choose if we do not get a striker in by the start of the season? Would you start Kulu or would you start Richarlison? Interesting question. For me, who would I start? I can't answer that right now. I want to see him against Bayern Munich if he starts and plays in that position over the 2 games, see if he can kind of offer that kind of level of performances against better quality opposition. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. We'll come back to that one in a couple of weeks' time. So what else I think's gone good in pre-season so far? Seeing Spence. It looks like now the club have made a decision to give him a go this year, be cover for Pedro Porro, give him competition for the right position. He's looked lively, looks good. Again, we've only seen him against lower level opposition. I want to see him against Bayern Munich, see how he matches up against a much better side. So for me, that's positive. Saves us having to get another right back. We do have a lot of positions we need. Probably right back is not one of the most priority. I think it's more on the left that we need cover for Udogie. So looking at the defence, which I think is something I wanted to talk about in good. It's hard because we haven't seen them pre-season. Van der Ven has come back for an international duty because of playing in the Euros. Same with Romero. Udogi's recovering. He's quite close to coming back now. We've seen a lot of Porro. Vicario play today. So we haven't seen our defence. Radu as well. We haven't seen him, only a little bit today. Hopefully we'll see him against Bayern Munich. But the defence, if I'm looking at good, and I'm looking at, I mean, I know I'm talking about pre-season here, but I'm also kind of thinking ahead of the season coming, what I'm feeling good about. I like our defence. I think they're a good quality and they should only improve next year. They had a season playing together. It's going to start fresh this season. Fingers crossed they're not injured and they're ready to go. And yeah, that I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Radu coming in as cover, also playing, not just cover, but getting involved in games when the cup games start, Europe starts. I like to see Radu in the team. We may see Gray come in as well. He's played a lot of centre back in the pre-season. We might see him there as well. He looks good. What I like about Gray, and I think I'll come on to him now, is the flexibility in Gray. He can play multiple positions. He can play right back. Before he came to Spurs, he was playing right back. He was playing midfield. Ange has played him as centre back quite a lot through pre-season. He's similar in Romero in ways where he would attack the balls. Play those lines splitting passes rather than just passing it sideways or keeping it easy. He likes to take a risk, try to beat players, get it up the pitch, looking comfortable on the ball. So we may see him involved in the defence at some points. Maybe Ange's thinking he can also cover the right back as well as Poirot and Spence. So yeah, good cover, young player, so much potential. Gray has been a positive in pre-season. I'm not getting too carried away because he's young. He's 18. Again, we need to we've got to be careful with him and make sure that he gets game time, that the right games comes on at the right moments through matches, and especially in the Europa, in the early stages of the competition in the league format, that he does get some game time. If that's starting, if that's coming off the bench, not sure yet. I don't know what Ange's got planned for him, but coming in not just in the kind of defensive areas, maybe cover for the number 6, covering Basuma or Bentancur, who Ange thinks wants to start there. Yeah, I'd like to see him. Again, as I mentioned in previous videos, I'd rather sign a ready-made 6, but there's nothing out there on social media coming out of the club, coming out from the press that we're thinking about covering that position. Since Holberg's left, no names have been mentioned, so it's very quiet in that area, which makes me think it's not going to happen. So we're going to have to look and see what we've got. But Basuma, Bentancur, Gray can play that position, and really they have to step up and play well. Whoever it is. Basuma, starting this pre-season, he's been better. Signs that he is back to his own self. Got a goal against QPR. I'm hoping that continues to the start of the season. Still looks vulnerable when teams attack us. There's a lot of questions on that, which I'll come back to a bit later when I get to the other parts of the video. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see with that one. So what else is good about this pre-season or thinking ahead of the new season? Let's have a look here. Happy Ange, what have I put here? Happy Ange, does he know something we don't? Happy Ange, yeah. What I've noticed about Ange over pre-season, he's been in good spirits. Talking positively about the team, happy, smiling. Does he know something? Has he got something we don't know yet? And it's a slight change in tactics. There's something I want to cover this as well, which I've seen on Twitter. A new way of playing. I've seen quite a few videos on YouTube about how we're gonna change the way we play slightly. I mean, I'm not going to go into exact details because there's a lot better videos out there who can explain it better than me. But it looks like Basuma may not be left in his zone as much. One of the fullback, I think, is going to hold back when we're going forward. So we have 3, or Basuma's going to drop in between the centre backs. So from what I've seen on Twitter, social media, other YouTube channels, some tactical videos, is that there is going to be a change to that midfield. Basuma's going to get a bit more help. So yeah, I want to see more of that. I want to see how that works out. So maybe Ange he's going to have to change it up because last season we were very tactically naive and it was disappointing. So something does have to happen there. So maybe Ange has a plan, and I'm hoping that plan improves us, makes us a little bit more solid, not so vulnerable to the counter attacks, the high line, having another body back there, because we were really just playing 2 at the back when we were going forward, and there was just so much chances for teams to score against us, and we conceded a lot of goals that way. So yeah, Ange is in good spirits. I mean, is he hiding his really true thoughts because we ain't got in the signings yet? Any first team players? Time will tell. Hey, we'll see. Let's go back to Moore a little bit as well. He's been really good in pre-season. Showed he's been involved in goals. Looks confident at the ball, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Is he going to be our cover for on the right side? I heard Moore is more in the past, has more played more either centrally or left, so he's going to be going on the right, maybe cover for Johnson. If you're trying to be positive and looking at the squad and the players and what we have right now, not knowing if we're going to ever get these top ready now players in, then we have to think, more, can he make an impact? Can he come off the bench, as I mentioned earlier? Can he come on and he's a very different player to Johnson. Yeah, again, we don't know. He's very young, still 16. Maybe expecting too much, but if he's ready, he's ready, and we'll see. And we'll have to wait and see. Let's see him against Bayern Munich, against better quality opposition. Does he make an impact? Again, got to be cautious. Don't want to get too carried away about that. But as I said, I'm trying to look at the positives. I'm trying to think what's good about Spurs at the moment, and Moore is definitely good about Spurs. Highly rated player, and other rival fans as well are starting to acknowledge him. Some are saying that he's the best current English 16-year-old in this country. So he's people are noticing him. So again, yeah, as I said, let's see how that one plays out. Donnelly, again, I've obviously talked about him already, but if we don't get cover for the left back, if a doggy gets injured, suspended, can Donnelly do a job there? It's not his position, but Donnelly has said over pre-season that he's ready to play for Spurs in any position asked. Really good attitude from the young guy. And his performances in the under-23s last year were really good. He got some really good stats, goals, assists. Yeah, possibly could be cover. Again, being cautious here, I'd rather have a ready-made left-back cover in. There's Van der Ven, who could possibly play that position we saw at the end of the season. But it's an option. Definitely in certain games, I think he'll be fine. In the league, middle to lower teams, I think he can do a job. Certain games in Europe, in the cup games against low opposition, I think he could come in and do a job. So it is another option, possibly. We'll have to wait to see. So another good positive thing in this window so far, in this pre-season so far, is the players that we've got out. So let me get the list up of the players that we have sold so far. Out, Holberg, Roden, Parrott, Ndombele, Sessegnon, Tanganga, Brian Hill, Emerson Royale is close. Oh my God, that's been dragging on for so long. Like I keep saying, it's close, it's getting closer. Just get the transfer done. Quite a few younger players have also left the club. I won't go through them lists, but yeah, quite a lot have gone out. So that's good. The club is slowly getting out players that are not going to make it, that we've asked. We wanted to get out for a long time, and it doesn't want them, doesn't think they're good enough for his team moving forward. So a lot of getting rid of a lot of players. Haven't got a lot of money back, but every little bit helps. So that's a positive thing so far in the transfer window. Also getting Royale out. There's Lo Celso possibly still go out. We'll have to wait and see about that. So yeah, so that's another good thing so far in this pre-season. Looking forward to the new year, and just following on, kind of finishes off this segment of the good about Spurs. What's good about them so far, and what trying to look forward. Season starts. The team has had a season under Ange. They've getting used to his style of play. There's definitely going to be an uplift, a natural uplift from when year two. I pray for a change of tactics. What Ange is going to introduce to make us more competitive. So that definitely is a good thing. Is it going to be enough? I don't think so. The young players, what we've seen in pre-season, Bergvall, Gray, are they going to improve us? Time will tell. I think they've got a lot to offer, these young players. Very tidy in possession, technically good, fearless. And that will give us an uplift. Percentage-wise, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Getting players back from injury, I don't think we have anybody out long term. Everyone's almost back now. Richarlison is close to returning. Udogi's close to returning. I want to see the players that have been away after having their international competitions come in and play the pre-season friendly against Bayern Munich. Hopefully they'll get a kind of what's it called when behind closed door matches to bring up their fitness as well, because they're only going to have one game before the season starts, which is not a lot. Just getting their fitness back up, getting their rhythm, playing together as a team. Yeah, well, it's definitely not been the best starting in pre-season so late in. Yes, they'll be training, of course, but it's nothing like the match days, game days, real matches to really build that fitness, get that consistency. So that's it at the moment for good. So let's move on to the bad. So the bad so far this pre-season, looking ahead to the summer. Timo Werner, um, definitely bad. Don't understand why we signed him. If he is like a third or fourth choice backup, maybe, but he's on high wages. Surely there was somebody better out there who could have come in on the left. I'd rather have more play. Let's be brutally honest here. I'd rather have more play, more games than Werner. Werner is not suddenly going to become anything better than what he is. Pace, I mean, he did a good run today, took on his man, got a good cross in, but again, level of opposition is not top. So yeah, he should be doing that against those sort of teams. Cover for the fullback. Sorry if I wanted any Taco Bell. So let's continue where I was. Yeah, back to Timo Werner. Yeah, just a very confusing signing that. Don't know why. Surely there was somebody better who could have come in and done a much better job. Maybe because he was another loan deal. I don't know, squad player. Baffles me, to be honest. He's not even going to start. Son's going to start on the left. Yeah, sorry for another interruption. Oh, well, this is the life of YouTube, eh? I've got to get used to this. Yeah, sorry. Going on a bit about Timo Werner. Just leave it there. It's boring. Another thing, not being so good so far is seeing some of the older players back in the team. I know we're seeing that Royale's close to going to AC Milan, but I saw Davis come back playing a couple of games. Whew. Yeah, I don't want to see Davis. I don't want to see him. But it's pre-season. He needs to play. I don't want to be too hard on the fella. He has been a good servant to the club, but no, that's not good. Really, I mean, maybe there's just no defenders. You've got to look at it. Van der Ven, Romero away, Dragusin coming back as well from international duty, having his rest. Phillips has been injured. Dorrington's injured. Maybe Hans just has another choice. But yeah, people don't know how much we'll see him next year. Hopefully not much. Hopefully we'll only see him if there's a real crisis, because we need to move on for players like Davis. He needs to kind of focus on just being in and around a squad experienced player. Good guy. He is a good guy. Never does anything wrong. Never complains. Never hear anything bad about him. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. Probably am, but it's part of the old kind of regime. Davis. He does need to go. Maybe he can focus on his coaching badges there while he's at Spurs. I think he might want to get into coaching when he retires. Another bad thing is that forward line we're seeing in pre-season is the same forward line as last year. Son, which, I mean, he had quite a good season last year. Johnson, we've seen Werner. We haven't had a striker, but Charles has been injured. We've been seeing Kulu play there, Son play there. It's bad. It is bad. We haven't brought anybody new, anybody to get into the team, get used to the team. Where's the striker? Where is the striker? We're going to come a bit more onto that into the next section, the ugly. There's been a lot. Another bad thing over pre-season is what's annoying is what's been annoying is there's been too much positivity about the pre-season. How can I explain this? When the young players have played and they've played well, so much hype. We're not going to see them all when the season starts. We may never see them again. And this hyper positivity And maybe it's due to the fact that we're so desperate for something to go well at the club, something positive to happen. And maybe fans, and probably more the younger fans, are just really just holding on to these young players playing and doing well, but it's just far too much positivity. Yes, praise the young players, but don't don't expect them all to come off and all to make a massive difference next season. Even if a couple come out as having good seasons, good first seasons at Spurs in the first team, that's fantastic. But we have to be cautious. Don't put too much on these young players. And it is annoying. I have to say it, and I see it on social media. Too much hype. You know, it's we. There needs to be balance. Just say yes, they played well, but we're not going to see them all. Come on, guys, you got to be honest. We're not going to see them all. We're going to see a couple. So that's been annoying. That's been a bad thing for me. Getting too carried away. Our history shows that we don't play all the youth players. We've seen this before, seeing young players in pre-season, and then we never see them again, or they hardly get any game time. So that's the bad. Now I'm going to move on to the ugly. Oh, this way it gets interesting. Again, I have to speak about everything so far. I've talked about the good, talked about the bad. I've tried to be positive in the good as much as I possibly can, but there are real concerns, and the ugly is ugly. And where I'm going to start with that is no first team players, starting first team players, experienced top players. We've had none. None have come in. And we're at the 31st of July. The season starts, well, just over a couple of weeks. It's bad. It is bad. And we know Ange has come out and said they're still working on the same targets. The clubs that we're trying to buy for them are holding them up, whatever reason. It's concerning that we're leaving it so late again in the window, not giving these new players time to get used to the team, get used to the system. I'm looking at teams like Arsenal, who have signed Calafiore, and they're close to signing Marino. Sorry if I haven't pronounced that right. Which experienced players. Calafiore is a younger player. I haven't heard too much about him, but played in the Euros. I suppose had a good season last year. They look like two solid signings to already add to a good side. I look at West Ham linked to the German striker Füllkrug. He's 31. Scored a couple of goals in the Euros. Been around a long time. Can't say I really heard much about him before the Euros. But again, they are getting a striker. They're getting an experienced player. And they're also linked to Somerville as well. Leeds, attacking winger who can take a player on. Young. I think he's only like 21 or something. So I'm seeing other clubs do it. They're getting their business in. Manchester United, as I mentioned before in my previous videos. It's really ugly, guys. It's ugly. Where are those top players coming in to really push us on next year? Where are they? When are they coming? We're going into the new season with that same forward line. Not clinical enough. I'm talking Richarlison. I'm talking Johnson. I'm talking Werner. Yeah, Kulu. Maybe we'll see him in the number 9 striker. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it in the Premier League and in all the games, cup games, Europa League games. It's not sure. It's like we're just trying to, because we haven't got anyone else. We're like, it's desperate. It's desperate, isn't it? Putting him as a striker because we haven't got any. We haven't signed anyone. It's like gambling. We're gambling. Maybe it will come good, but I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. He's not going to get on the end of the crosses into the box. He's not fast enough. Yes, he's good at holding up the ball. Yes, he's good at these little cheeky flicks, playing people in. But with Ange, and we know with how he likes to play, out on the left, out on the right, balls across the box, you need to have a clinical finisher to finish it off. And we created a lot of that last season, and we missed a hell of a lot of chances. Yes, we did put a lot away as well. We did score a lot of goals, but we should have killed a lot of games off last season, and we would have got a lot more points, and we would definitely been in the Champions League last year if we had a clinical striker and better wingers, without doubt. So that's, to me, not good. It's not good, and I'm just praying that we do make them attacking signings, the clinical striker. We must do it. Otherwise, it's just too much of a risk going into the new season. As I was talking about percentages under the good section of the video, the team being together a year, changing tactics, system, players playing together, getting used to Ange another year, the couple of younger players coming in, improving the team. These percentages, if you add them up, they may raise our performance, but the top signings, experienced players, have to come in. Otherwise, I'm not sure how the season will go. I want to be positive, but we're competing against some really good teams in the Premier League. Teams around us are improving. They're not sitting still. It's not going to get any easier next year. Throw on top of all the extra games that we got. We must bring in these players ASAP, urgently. It's urgent. And I'm going to keep talking about this throughout the rest of pre-season, before the season starts, because it has to happen. It must happen. Moving on from that, what are other ugly things? Kind of connected to what I just said. What will be better next year? And I'd like some people to comment on this as well. And I want to hear what other people think. What will be better next year? I've come up with some ideas what will be better, what I may think will be better. And not just what will be better, but why will we be better? What is going to be different next season? Are we going to be competing for trophies, higher positions in the league, getting closer to the top teams in the Premier League, doing well in Europe, doing well in the Cups? What do people think? What actually is going to be better? A lot of question marks around this. Are we going to see those younger players that we've seen in pre-season? History suggests we won't. So again, something I'm not sure about. How are we going to perform better next season? What will change? These questions will have to be answered when the season starts. Who will protect that defence? Who is going to protect that high line? As I mentioned earlier in the video, who is going to be that number 6, the consistent player who's going to break up play, receive the ball from the defence, get us playing, not getting just bypassed, somebody strong? Is it going to be that we're going to see that our midfield is going to change slightly, with maybe not just having Basuma there doing it all? One of the other midfielders are going to drop back, and are they going to switch? Are they going to change positions, cover each other? If one goes forward, one goes back. Definitely need that defence, need more protection. It's too open, and we will be found out next season. I'm sure we will, unless, as I said, sign that clinical striker, the one-on-one specialist winger that we're going to outscore teams. To me, that is ugly. No clinical striker. I've already mentioned this under the bad, but again, and I'll keep talking about it, we need a clinical striker who's going to score goals. We must, if that's Tony, if that's the Sporting Lisbon player, Gorkarez, who is he? Is it Jonathan David? We don't know. That is ugly. Not signing a striker is ugly. What about new way of creating chances? other than that low cross into the box. That's all we kind of see. Yes, we saw some balls going into Kulu today and linking up well with on-running players, especially Son, who took the goal well. We're going to see more of that. If we got a striker who can hold it up and get involved, getting runners in behind, more in a central way. How are we going to beat the low block consistently? Questions, more questions. And we're going to have the same problem next season unless we sign better players. Another thing which we noted last season was the periods of games where we'd have a lot of possession, but then we'd have these bursts where we'd just score 2 or 3 goals. How are we going to improve our performance playing more consistently on the front foot, actually creating chances, not just pass, hitting a low block, not knowing what to do, passing back and getting caught out? Are we going to stick with the man-on-man marking, so we improve on the set pieces, not conceding so many set pieces next year? I hope so. I hope Ange keeps that going like we did at the end of the season, where I think after Ange made that change from man marking, from zonal marking to man marking, we didn't concede any set pieces. How are we going to beat the low block more consistently? How are we going to perform better in games? A lot of people did say that games were boring. We did have the bursts, 15, 20-minute spells. We looked really good. We did have a few games last year where we did perform well for a lot of the game, but it wasn't many. I've mentioned them before. Newcastle, Aston Villa, West Ham, where we did play well in the majority of the games. Yes, a couple of those games we did get defeats. The second half against Man United last season. But the majority of the games we weren't consistently playing well. Yes, we were dominating the ball, but it was not really going anywhere. And I hope for the new year that changes, and that and it will naturally. Players getting used to the system, some tactical adjustments, changing system. As I keep saying, bringing in those top players. Yeah, hopefully we'll all be better. Another ugly thing, and this is kind of the ugly opinion of the video. Why aren't the board saying anything? Lange, Munn, we're not seeing anything from them. Nothing coming out of what our plan is for the new season, what we're aiming to achieve. What do we want? What's our goals next season? What is it? Is it challenging for the title? Is it trying to win a trophy? Is it bringing in young players and playing them? There's just silence. And it's so frustrating. What is the club's message? Ange hasn't really said much about it for the new season. He did say last year, but he's gone quiet, talking about playing the young players this year, which has been a change. We weren't saying that at the end of last season. They said they were nowhere ready. What are we aiming for this season? Success. We need success. We need to be winning something. So I've had enough of failure. I've had enough of being the laughingstock of rival clubs. I want to hear from the club, what is our ambition for next year? What are we pushing for? Are they scared? Are the board, whoever's running that football side of it, Munn, Lange, just come out. Just tell us. Tell the fan base what they want. Where's this club going? What do they want? What's their targets? They've got to have a bit of ball. They've seen what's happened in the last 20 odd years. Failure, losing, not winning anything, falling short in the transfer market time and time again. Awful decisions in the transfer market. Yes, we spent money, but we spent it awfully. I want to hear something coming from the club in the next couple of weeks, and I want them to really speak out and just give us something. All our fans, we all want to win. We want success. We're fed up with losing. We're fed up with not winning. We're fed up with getting close, so close but so far. I want top signings coming in. I want success. And I am going to be speaking a lot in the new season. I've got a lot to say. I I want Spurs to win. Will they win? It's just so many question marks, so many concerns. Yes, there are some positives. We do have some really good players. We've got some good young players. We are playing more attacking football. I like Ange. He's trying to play in a positive way. He has had success in past clubs. This is his biggest challenge, managing Tottenham Hotspur. I really do hope that he's successful. I really hope he is supported by the board. But evidence shows us in the past that managers are not supported and end up getting sacked once performance start dropping off and we start losing games. We need to be stronger. We can't be beaten so easily next season. Getting caught out on that high line. We've got to be clever. And just got to change things in games. You know, we all know some games when they start that the players are not on it that day. You know, the other team have come out full throttle. And just needs to make a change to the team, drop back a bit, sit back, just kind of check stock, you know, stay in the game, and then take the chances to then tack back, make some changes. The other team are going to lose energy at certain points of the game, and then hit them on the counter and make a change. I don't know. Ange's got to do better tactically. And I know he keeps saying, stick to the system, stick to the style of play, keep playing, keep playing. That's what Guardiola did, that's what Klopp did. But the difference is that Klopp and Guardiola were supported with top transfers. And at the moment is being supported with young 18-year-old players and Timo Werner. We need these players coming in. This is a bit of a rant. I've said this here, but I'm passionate about Spurs doing well, and I just want to feel proud of supporting Spurs. I want to be able to have some chest when I talk about my team with rival fans. When I was a lot younger, I did give it large about Spurs, even though they were the nearly men back then. But maybe because I was younger and I just gave it back. But now, when I talk to rival fans about my team, I'm cautious. I don't big them up. Yeah, I talk about what I'm happy about, but I can't just say I'm super sure that next season is going to be the season. We say this time and time year in, year out. This is going to be the one where we win something. It's been 16 years since we won that Carabao Cup. And I remember that day, and it was a fantastic day, winning that cup, beating a good Chelsea team, a team of winners. And it's been too long. Yes, we had the Pochettino time. Yes, we've had Harry Redknapp. Mourinho didn't work out. Conte didn't work out. Ange, is he going to be the guy who's going to bring us that success? I'm really, really unsure, unless he's a miracle worker. Something, it all clicks next season. The young players, the players who we've seen last year, a couple of extra signings, all click. Other teams slightly drop off. You don't know. I live in hope, but my head is saying, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. And I need to see these top players come in by the end of the window. So that's it, guys. Just under an hour, this one. The good, the bad, the ugly. Please comment on the video, anything you liked, anything you want to talk about. Yeah, please. It'd be great to hear from people and hear their comments. So thank you so much for listening to the Spurs DANalyst. Take care, guys. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.